go, just a little click. One little bit, looking good, guys. Looking good. Looking so good. There we go. Okay. You guys, welcome to the show. It's Paint with Josh. We're back in the studio. Brand new, fresh. It's actually, this one's already pre-used, but our brand new black palettes. Are you guys excited about these black palettes? I'm excited for you to get them. Now, what I've done so far with my 22 by 28 inch canvas is I put a piece of tape right across the center, just like that. And I blacked out everything else below and then left the top white. When it came time to paint this painting, I put the clear down on our black canvas and then the liquid white on our white canvas. So no matter where we are, we should have some liquid white on the top. That's gonna keep the canvas nice and wet, right? Now we'll take our phthalo blue and just get a little bit of it onto our brush up here and just start dropping it on. Now it's gonna start blending and mixing with the colors that are underneath because, and sliding very easily because of that liquid white. Right, our liquid white base coat really allows this guy to blend softly. And have you ever wondered why Josh's colors just slide around so easily? It's because our canvas is wet. We got a wet old canvas out here in the night. Good guys. So let me know where you're watching from. Tell me what your favorite sandwich is. We're gonna go right over. Let's go into the purple first. Go to our dioxazine purple. Right on top of the brush. All right, and let's drop it down underneath. Oh, look at that purpley color. It is fantastic. The more that we let that guy blend with the white, the lighter and lighter and lighter it'll get. Let's get a little bit of our black. Same brush, haven't washed anything yet. A little of the black onto it up here, and we'll start to blend it down. Because I never like it to just be one color in our sky. All right, we're gonna take that same black. And this is the Bob Ross Midnight Black. And we're gonna put it right underneath. Right on top, you can even see there's purple in my brush, right? It's not all just one thing. You can even take this guy and blend him up, but we can't blend with a brush so full of color. Right, so what we'll have to do is shake off the old brush, launch it into the bucket, and then we'll just have to see what happens, right? We're gonna start our blending of our sky. Now you need a clean, dry brush when you go to blend the sky out. Otherwise, you're just gonna be dropping more and more and more and more and more paint on top of it, right? So, let's get in here to the clean, or the brightest area, and let's just start back and forth with our brush, right? Just getting some of that white paint onto the bristles. And then we'll come out into our blue. Very small, light things. We're grabbing little areas and dragging them down through, right? Having our white circle or spot change color. It's going to change color. It's going to start mixing in with all these other colors, and especially once we get out here and we start taking this darkness and pushing it around, it's going to want to grow in and cover over our little white centery area, right? We can't allow that to happen. We have to have a nice little spot up there where it's brighter than the whole rest of the painting. Right, so if we have to work at this area a little harder and spread it out, the more that we brush it, the softer and softer and softer it becomes, right? Until you get this soft sky versus our untouched area, right? Very cool, Josh. Mix it out, mix it out, mix it out. Each time, taking some of the black from over here, taking some of the purple from over here, with each crisscross of a strokey poo, right? Out here up into the top corner, of course. Can't forget about that old guy. Blend it down, back and forth, until you like how it looks. If you don't like how it looks, no one else is gonna like how it looks. Right, so get out there and just keep blending it until you see that it's finished. Do you see? Change arms, this canvas is a little bit bigger. Hurting old Paint with Josh's arm over there, right? Literally, blend it down. You can blend it sideways, however you want to do it. I normally don't paint with my left hand, so it looks so strange. I'm like, how do I hold this brush? Should I do one painting one time just left-handed? And no, I can't. I won't even be able to do it. I'll have to crisscross at some point because it'll hurt my brain. I'll be like, why doesn't this work? There we go. Just as softly as we want to blend it, not trying to get any color down underneath. And it's a little difficult to do, right? When you're blending out your sky, your big old brush wants to put some of that color down underneath. So don't allow too much. A little bit is okay. Too much bad news bears. Right? We don't want to do too much. So, where are you guys watching from out there? Let me know in the comments below. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Everybody hit that share button for me too. Let's get this one out there, guys. From Otis, Oregon. I'm over here in Eugene, Oregon. I don't know where Otis is in comparison, but hit that share button, tap the screen, like the live. You guys know what you're supposed to do out there, so I don't have to tell you. Just with 3 different colors on top of that white, we've sort of created this very cool kind of a stormy sky. Right? Let's bring down our white paint. Look at how thick this stuff is. It's like icing. It's like cake icing. I'm not even kidding. The brush wants to stick to it, right? That's how thick it is. Now, let's say, I know I'm going to have something up here in the foreground, but I need a bit of light kind of popping out in that sky out there. And we do it in a very random pattern, and I'm going to show you why we do it randomly. Right? If we decided to take everything and make it as bright as it is up here on the front, and then put nothing else, right, we're going to have an odd-looking cloud. Right? If we come out here and do it at random, like Mother Nature does it at random, and then get out here and start mixing it down, allowing the 2 colors, 2 bits of white to come and touch at some point, leaving little shadowy areas in between them. Right? It's not all going to blend exactly the same because we had a random bit of paint pop up there. I'm going to flatten off the bottom, just come in, scrub it real good. Flatten it out, blend it out, push it harder. If you want it to disappear, push it harder. Right? The harder you push it, the softer it becomes to see. Out here, maybe we want it a little softer in this area so it's a bit brighter. It's all up to us. Every time that we do it, we can do it differently. Let's say, let's grab down from here, just going through that purple, and let's start popping in a couple little areas up into there, and then just kind of very lightly scrubbing it out. You get cool little cloud, little shadows, and all sorts of stuff. All right, now, let's come in here and grab another bit of our white paint, considerably more than we did the last time, because I want this guy to stand out. Right? We drop him down and really make sure it's nice and thick with the paint up there. That's going to allow him to be a little bit brighter, right? Look a little bit closer if we can keep him in the right place, right? Without it blending away too much. And in order for it not to blend away too much, we just use more paint and then less on our pressure. Right? And that way it won't drag too far. It won't blend away too much unless we want it to, in which case we come and scrub it out. Right? All the things, guys, are up to you. You are in control. Every time you go to do a scene, you can do it a different way. You can mix it. You can make it brighter. You can make it darker. You can make it here or there. It's all up to you every time that you go to do it. Now, that's a pretty old dye, if you ask me. Let's take our 2-inch brush, just from the bottom to the top, all the way across, side. Just kind of takes away the brush strokes, softens down our little sky out there, any little bit of cloudiness that we don't like. Just take it away instantly. Very cool, guys. This one, maybe it's got a little bit of Karen out there. Just flying out of the old clouds, way up at 37,000 feet. Butters, you guys. That's wicked, wicked awesome. Just wicked awesome. Awesome-tastic. Very lightly. Very lightly. Oh, so soft. I want that guy to blend away. There it is. Very cool. Okay, now let's get out here, and we're going to mix up a whole bunch of our Paint with Josh plaque mixture. Do you know the 3 colors that it takes in order to make up Paint with Josh plaque? Can you let us know in the comments right now? We're going to need a big amount of it, you guys. If you saw my show on Monday night, this is kind of a recreation of that painting, but more realism with its colors and a daytime versus a nighttime. Right? So, if you caught that one on Monday night, you might notice these giant rocks will be quite similar to those guys, right? Again, mixing it down, pulling it down, scrape it up, roll it over, flatten it out, wipe off our knife so we got a nice clean blade to start with, right? And then we got to start making some big decisions out there, guys. And when I mean big decisions, you know what? Let's put our ocean in first. Let's not get too crazed. I'm going to take a nice clean dry brush, go into my blue, into my purple, just so we have a cool little bit back here. Let's start right up onto our horizon, about as close as we can get. A lot of that bluish purpley paint. It's all undercolors now. You know what I mean? Those undercolors are going to shine when we have any amount of white paint touch it. So again, let's get some blue and we'll start changing stuff up. Maybe we got a little bit of blue back in there. Maybe we got a little bit of our phthalo green right onto the brush again, back in here. As it starts getting thinner, it starts getting more and more and more green in the water out there, right? So let's go into our sap green as well. A little bit of our sappy green right out here. And then we're gonna save it. And we'll see what else we can put underneath, right? We'll see by the time we get down there. A little bit more of my sap green. Just so I've got a couple stripes of color. And as we work this way, we'll be able to see what's going on and then add our other color or undercolors down here as we need to. Okay? So let's get a little bit of our white, pull it out flat, tiny little bit of it. And let's just start saying we got something out here, about a 1/4 inch underneath, and then let it climb up to its horizon. Okay? And that way, you'll have some room to start launching stuff backwards. Right? Little places. Remember, it's very dark. We put a lot of blue and a lot of purple back there. So anything that you mix over is going to want to go dark quickly. Right? And we know that not all of the water out there is high lit at the same time. It's not all so bright. There can be some light areas and some dark areas and some waves out there. It happens. It literally happens very lightly. Swipe across. Just to take away all the details out there. We don't need it to be too crazily bright or vice versa, too crazily dark. Right? So, drop down again. Pull out our paint. One little tiny little scrape up. And let's start from over here. Go down. Maybe we pop up. We go down again. Right? Doesn't all have to be perfect out there. I'm telling you, so many times I've told you that it doesn't have to do anything. We are in control of what it does, and we get to decide when it's done, what it looks like, all the rest. It's all up to us. Right? Literally. Take it and slide it over, brightening up this area, then do it. Right? It's all up to you. You cannot make a mistake out here. Unless you get all of your colors touching, right? If we don't leave any dark separators, then guess what? Everything's gonna look like it's all part of the same wave. Right? So we have to leave bits of bright and bits of dark. It's literally it. Quite literally all we have to do, right? Now, oh yeah, let's do it, Joshy. I know, I'm gonna scrape out again. I know I'm gonna have some just whipping, crashing waves rolling over right here. They don't have to be so humongous, nor do they have to be so bright. And you don't have to use your palette knife when you're doing them, right? It doesn't have to be palette. You can use your brush just the same. It's just I've sort of gotten used to these palette knife waves, and they start looking so stinking cool that I just can't stop doing them, right? That's gonna be neat. Now remember, the wave has to come down and hit at a certain point. And then all of this water would be rolling back up inside of himself, right? Now, we know that we're gonna have just this immensely crazy thing. What if we got a bit of our titanium white, just titanium white, no liquid white, titanium white only. Right, and then up here, just wherever. Right? You gotta put it there if you want any part of our next thing to stand out. And again, just kind of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth as we go down this way. Very cool, you guys. Very cool. Now, here's the reason why we had to do such a thing over there. Right, we're gonna take all that plaque mix, we're gonna scoop up enough to make a giant mountain. And we are just gonna make a giant old mountainous rock that lives out here. Just gets crashed upon and smooshed and just all day long. Literally all day long, this thing. Crashing into the day. However far you want your rock to grow over to this side, right? You can do whatever you feel like. You want it to get real bright, don't use too much plaque, you want it to be real dark and stand out against all that bright color, then use more, and that'll help you. Right now, we can come back in here and decide maybe our water kind of skirted around that rocky area just a little bit, right? Very cool, you guys. I like it. Let's get a little of our liquid white. Remember, you can grab this painting if you go to PaintWithJosh.com. It's the very first thing up there. Liquid white and titanium white. It's going to help the paint go for longer. You know what I mean? It'll look a little bit more waterier, especially get down in there. Little things is all you gotta do. Little bits. It went up behind our rock even. Tried to catch a little piece of it back there. You guys. All things that we can do. I'm gonna leave a little separation. Might look kind of cool. It could be like a little shadow back there underneath our next bit of wave. Or if you don't like how they look, literally cut them together. Boom, boom, boom. Now we've got all this watery stuff about to flow back upwards into our wave. Our waviness. Let's let them dip down just a little bit more. Never like to just be purely all the same kind of straight back there, right? Now, at this moment you could decide, you know what, maybe I want to have more crashers, or I want it to be a little bigger, different, or whatever, and start changing the face of your wave just however you feel that it is necessary. Right, that's cool. Now we have to, though, you got to get a bit of eye up underneath this guy. It doesn't have to be so bright, right, or so big, but right up underneath him, so you get that little softness of the water kind of getting thinner and thinner and thinner before it crashes back down. Boom, everybody. Over here, let's go a little bit through that eye. Rolling these waves over. Right? How does yours look? Might look different than mine, and that's perfectly okay. Not every one's going to look exactly the same. So we get all these rolling, crashy bits. Now let's get a little bit of our liquid white and our titanium white together. Right, let's come off of this guy and just start with those rolling, splashing bits. Boom, boom, boom! It's everywhere. Right, rolling over, smacking down onto the earth. Quite literally, smacking onto the earth. All these little bits, all our tumultuous water craziness. And then what do? We gotta come back in and just mix it up a little. Can't see everything. You don't want to see every bit anyway. Come back in, a couple more little splashers. Don't want to go over them too much. We want there to be differences. Very cool, guys. I like it. That's the only person that matters. Do you like it? Because you're the one that's painting it. Dragging off that little bit of excess color. You can even take a little bit of your excess color and pull it down from that side as well. Just remember that the water out there is see-through, right? We don't have to paint every single thing every single time, right? It's see-through out there. So, little bits that are floating on the top are going to be differently painted than bits that are flying up the edge of the wave or whatever. They're riding on top of all of this water. So you can be the judge of when you have enough little bits riding on the top of your water, how far they climb upwards. Things that are shooting up there, going over here. Maybe this guy's got a little line. A little bit just rolling over the side. You need it to be strange, you guys. Drop this guy in there too. There we go. You gotta have it be weird. So, don't put on too much paint. And just go nuts. Just have it be strange and odd. Roll up into that little bit back in there. Rolling. Rolling and rolling. There we go. Guys, I'm seeing it. Are you seeing it? It's coming to life. Over there. Turning the knife around and bending it a little bit. Right, the angles are most important. So, almost turning it vertically now and letting these guys Very horizontal though. Try not to get too vertical with your stuff. Just telling you out of experience, it starts to get a little crazy. It starts to look a little funny when you start going all the way up like that. Now, get a little bit more of our liquid white, 90% titanium white, a little bit of liquid white, just to help it come off the brush or the knife. There we go. Stays out there and is odd enough. It's gonna look cooler for us. We just want those odd bits. And the liquid white tends to blend away very fast, which is why I have to keep going back and going back and going back. And getting it back in there so it will launch up the side of our little friend. Oh, it's gorgeous. He's gorgeous, everybody. All right, now let's say, we're gonna put some highlights on this old guy up here. We're gonna need a little of our dark, it's Van Dyke brown, a little of our dark sienna, and that was a cute little color right there, guys. A little bit of craziness. We don't need it to be super dark, but we do need it to be darker than what we're going to put on the front. And just very lightly allowing it to grip, right? We put all that thick plaque paint up there. So this stuff is going to grip on to that. Right? Allow it to roll down, get close to the water. Right? Maybe there's a little touch of that brown back in here somewhere. Right? It doesn't have to be everywhere. Now, let's get a little touch of our white. A little touch of our just dark sienna brown by itself. Brighten that guy up. Look at that for a color, guys. Scrape this guy. Come up here. Launch it down. See, that's a bit brighter than that other brown color was. Little things. How does yours look as well? Is it very sheer and straight up like mine is? That's the only reason it looks like that is because we're taking the knife very vertically and depositing this stuff, right? If we were to do it horizontally, it would look a little bit more different, right? Just like that. Get that brown, get our darker color in there. If we need to and have any extra paint, maybe you can launch a bit of that brightness out here too. Just to have the rock look a little bit more rounded or whatever. All up to you. Take the backside and just very lightly, and it whip down. Gives it that round feel. That's looking cool, guys. Just if you ask me, that's cool. I don't know about you, but just if you're asking me. Thank you, Taylor. Appreciate you. Thanks, TMH. Happy little waves in the night. Remember, if you guys are watching on YouTube, just give me a thumbs up. That's all I need you to do. One little thumbs up from the folks over there on the tube, and we'll be all shadowrooshki. When we come out, the more rounded and such it feels. Don't have to cover everything, but don't need everything to show either. Now, let's get our liquid white. Big old pile of it. Right? That's a large amount of liquid white right there. Nasty. Right? A little bit of our titanium white. About a 90 to 10. 90-10 mix on this guy. About 90 liquid white, 10 of our titanium white. And that way, it gets very runny. Very runny. The more the runnier, the better. And that way we'll leave that little ridge of water right out there on the front. Drag everything else back. Just gonna be fantastic. Just fantastic. I think we're not getting into our green anymore, which is gonna be a problem for us. So, let's get back here. Streak that guy out a little bit. I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do with it. And we'll take our brush and kind of grab onto the front, streak him back a little bit. Right? This will be our little sea foam area of our stuff that just gets stuck out there. You know what I mean? It's just getting stuck as it's being pulled backwards. It's crazy, like. Right? How far do you need it to go? Almost all the way back. So we have a little bit of shadow underneath, right? Now we're kind of losing our undercolor down here because we didn't put on enough. So let's get back in here with our sap green. Bring it down to there, and then I'll show you. Right as we come back over it with our watery color, going this way, so you get that green back in there. Little changes will help. Little things, guys, little things. Let's turn it like that. Excellent. Right, everything that's up here gets drugged backwards. And that way, it starts looking cool. We start going like this, and it doesn't look natural Right? It's going to look like something's growing up out of there. But if we come over here, start launching these guys back. Little bits, little bits, little bits. Doesn't that look a lot more real if we're just horizontal versus trying to go vertically like that? Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that, you guys. Now let's do one more little bit of like splashing, crashing right in here. Just boom! It's everywhere. Just a big old monster of a wave hit the other side of that rock. All right, we need it because we're going to come back in with an even larger guy right through here. Bang. Right, just how big do we want it to be? It's got to be bigger than its other friend. That's for sure. Look like it's rounded off. We can fill in the rest. And he drops down right here, right on the edge, down into this little fella, right? Covering up all the excess room along the back. You guys can do this. I'm serial. I'm super serial. It is possible for you to do this on your first go ever. I've seen people do it. It is possible. So don't tell me it's not. Now just mushing on our darkness, trying to black out some stuff. Perfect. Just perfect. You guys. Now let's take that same dark mixture of our shadowy brown. Let's throw some off the back of this guy. Remember, they don't all have to be going the same direction. So even if they're shadows, you can still put them this side. All it does is change the direction of our rock angles, right? Now, rock is not just a ball out there. It's a pile of different things all jumbled onto itself. And so it doesn't have to just be all one color, right? You get all sorts of things happen out there. It's a lot of skin on that guy. All sorts of stuff happening. If you're leaving your dark areas, if you're going back with your highlights, we'll have these really cool things, you guys. Really cool. Right? Grab this guy. Let's whip it down and around just to give it a different feel. Right? Again, how it's on the painting or how it's going to stick on your rock is all up to you. How much is up there? How much slides down this way? Cuts through that other rock in the front. And you have to have something. You can't just have all the rock coming down and being all the same color and no separations and nothing, because it'll all look the same, right? If you want something to have some depth, you gotta make it different. Make it different, make it odd, make it stand out, make it come from a different direction. All right, so slide it down over there. Little things, right? Maybe leave that center area dark. Or if anything, plop a little horizontal trail through him too, just like that, quite literally. You don't need to be supremely bright. It doesn't all have to connect. You are in control of what your thing looks like, right? Hey, just like that. Oh, baby. I like it. I like that, ladies and gentlemen. Start your engines. Look at that thing. Woo! Dig it, dig it, dig it. Okay, now let's launch underneath. Let's put a little bit of our blue undercolor. So what I'm going to do is wash off my little 1-inch brush that I've been adding our undercolors with as we go. Wash this down. Then I have a little bit of our Phthalo blue onto the brush, a little bit, not too much of it. Right? Let's put it down underneath this guy. Just literally right up underneath, as close as we can get. Now, it's easier to do it if you do it all prior, but you know Paint with Josh. Didn't even know what I was gonna paint tonight. All right, and so, how can you do it prior if you don't know what you're gonna do? And we've never done a scene like this before either. There we go, a little bit of blue just underneath there, so we'll have a little reflection of our sky. Okay, now around all that blue, we wanna go brown. We need more. We need more, guys. So, while I'm getting out some more paint, you let me know where you're watching from. What time is it where you are right now? Let me know in the comments below. Tell me now. There we go. Get out both of our brown colors. And then be able to launch down some undercolor into this stuff. Now, we can either do it with a 1-inch brush or a 2-inch brush, whatever. Okay, the 2-inch brush we can do with it would be so much faster. So let's get our 2-inch. Let's get the brown, both the browns, right? Pulling it down from the Van Dyke brown and the dark sienna brown onto the same brush. And then let's start launching in from the edges and just getting close to that blue. Right? Doesn't even need to be all the way on this side. Just close to that blue, not trying to cover all of it. A little bit of our 2 brown colors right there. Kind of feed them into the blue just a little bit, just kind of blending. All right, and fill up the whole rest of the bottom. Okay, just like that. Nice and easily and quickly done with an old 2-inch brush. Now remember, you can grab this painting if you go to PaintWithJosh.com. It can be yours and nobody else's, but you got to be there first. You got to be the very first one there. We're going to get a little bit more of our liquid white, just an insanely big amount of it, because it always seems like we never have enough, right? Little bit of our titanium white. And so when we mix this pile, it's going to be, like I said, 98% liquid white with a little chunk of titanium white. Just a little bit of it, okay? Now, underneath, right up here, we're going to make a very big mess, right? We want there to be enough liquidy white paint right up underneath this guy, so that when we pull down with our brush, it's going to light up that bit of blue and then the brown sand below. All right, so all we gotta do, put a bit of liquidy white paint out there, okay? Now save the rest of this liquidy white paint, because we're gonna be using that stuff in a few minutes. Okay, but just like that, we're gonna come in, we'll get the Paint with Josh 2-inch brush, because you can get very close to your wave with the old Paint with Josh 2-inch, right? We'll come up underneath him, pull down, sort of igniting some of that blue sky above, down into our little sandy area. It should be nice and brown by the time we get down there. And if not, we can always go back and brighten it up, right? We'll take this guy just straight down, trying not to hit our color above, okay? And then we'll have this little bit of color out here. Now, we're gonna wanna pull it away from the wave, and as it starts to mix, and the more pressure that we give it mixing in with this brown, okay? We'll do our blue first. Get right up in here, grab our bit of blue, just like that. Now we can go back and brighten up the whole rest of the sand with the color that's already on the blue, right? It's already on our brush right here. All this stuff, just gonna mix it back and forth until the blue and the brown start fading out a little bit. We won't be able to tell which one is which. Right there. Fill it all in. Now you got a little bit. Oh, guys, it's gonna look cool. That's gonna look cool. Now, let's come out with our last little section, our watery line with that liquidy white. So we'll scoop it up. We came out here and we started launching down, pushing very hard against the canvas, right? We need the canvas and the knife to kind of bend a little bit to create this ridge that's out here on the front, right? And when we have this little ridge out here, it's going to make it a lot easier to grip with our brush and pull backwards, right? So we have it over there, we're just pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, trying to force all of this paint off of our knife and attach it onto our canvas, okay? Then we'll come back with a clean, dry brush, and we'll start popping it back towards its little bit of wave. We obviously can't let the colors touch, right? If we let the colors touch, then we're not going to know what's what, right? But we'll have a little bit of this guy dragging off back towards his own little self, right? Just back there, out here. And guys, I got big news to tell you. Big news to tell you guys. Very vertically. Oh, that's it. That's it right there, guys. Need a little touch of my white as well, just to brighten up this sandy area, just a little. Just a little touch. Get that really supreme dark area, and then you got your area that's not so wet or saturated. Very cool, guys. I like it. Now, we got to come up with a title for it, right? What are we going to title this little painting? That's my next question to you. It's because it needs a title. And I'm counting on you to give it one. Bring that color almost on top of that dark separator. All right, so if there's ever any area that's real big, you shake it down so you just get a couple little shadowy spots underneath. That's going to make it look more real, guys. More realistic. That little bit, right? And then we got to come down here. Shrink it, shrink it, shrinkage. You guys know what I'm talking about. There it is. Look at that, dudes. That's cool. Any amount of little diamonds that we could get to drag off and just light up, sparkle in our sandy area. It's really neat. There it is. Hey, you guys. That looks stinking cool. Just if you're asking me. I think that looks cool. All right, let's throw a couple little spray bits in so we can have some sandy area right over here. Just a couple little seashells and such. And all of a sudden, you got yourself a really cool little painting, dude. Really cool. And didn't take too long. A couple little splashies out here as well. Little splashers up onto our rocks and different things. And then, guess what? What could we do? I guess if we grabbed a little bit of liquid white onto our brush, right? What if there was a little bit of that water creeping its way down all different places, trying to lead its way back down to the water? All up to us. Boop. How's it gonna fall? Almost like we're painting a little thing of lightning, right? A little bit of water trying to creep its way over from our spray. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. Everybody's gonna look a little different, of course. That's the best part about it. It's looking a little different. All right. Now remember, guys, we do have. Let's see. We have the brand new small palettes now available in the store for you. You could pre-order yours. I'm taking possession of them tomorrow. And you could grab one. But you got to go to PaintWithJosh.com. They should be right up on the homepage, those small palettes. It's basically a condensed version of this with a different handle bit. Right? So you guys should really like them. I really like how they look. Tim really likes how they look. And so we're going to roll with it. It's going to be awesome. Quite literally fantastic. Let's bring this water line up a little bit as well, just to cover over some of those dark separators. Get them a little closer. Little closer. Just a little bit. All right, bring it out too far. We're not going to like it. So, little things. Little bits crashing up against our pal over here too. All these little guys are, again, 100,000,000% up to you. What you want them to look like, how bright, how thick, how full, how everything. It's all up to you. How do you see it? Do you see it differently? Then do it differently. Let's bring this guy down as well. I do like our little bit back here, but we need to bring it down to where it's makes more sense for me anyway. There we go. Bink! Take that little spot out. How easily you can fix or change a painting just by changing the dark separations. What we put down there. Boom, guys! That's fantabulous. Just chastic. Fan to the chastic. There we go. Okay. Zip. Drag them out where you want them to come out. Little things. We don't need the white area to be so big. We just need a little bit of brightness out on the front. And then whip it backwards. Right? That's the best part about them. All these little things. You can literally just wherever they drop, just kind of following along our lines that we were there before. Seriously, you don't need it to be anything more than that. You can do little circles, just little swiggles. I find that it works, right? Out here like this. Tell me that doesn't look real, right? Am I the crazy one? Or does that look real, or realer anyway, than you could do it trying to be too even or too, you know what I mean? Just like little ovals, basically. That looks way more real to me. A bit of texture-y stuff, you guys. And then that sand is just so smooth. Smooth and nice. 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 Okay. I like that. Yeah, guys. Okay. Let's see. Bring this guy out a bit more. Drop him down. There we go. They're not always the same. You know what I mean? And if anything, we can make our angle like this. this guy backwards. There we go. I love painting with the palette knife, like seriously, so much. There's so many things you can do, different little ways you can hold it, different little effects you can give, just from one tool. You know what I mean? I just think it's the best. It's quite literally the best. That's fantastic. Okay, you guys, you gotta come up with a title. Give us an old title, and then we're gonna be choosing those titles. The best one has the best chance of becoming the name of the painting. Right now, if you purchase this painting, you can choose whatever you want the title to be. It becomes your choice forever here and henceforth. Since you grabbed it during the show, it becomes yours, right? But if nobody gets it during the live show, then we will come up with it as a group. So if you don't type in your comment right now about what you would want to name the painting, then we're never going to know what you would have wanted. Right? So type it in, just like that. All crazy, like I'm going to wipe down this whole palette. But since we're over here, let's take and throw the old JK right down Sean. Where's Sean? There, and out there, and over there. Right, and then we'll add our little birdies to the sky with our odorless mineral spirits and the Paint with Josh plaque mix. Just right out in the night, wherever you want them to be. This one is cool, guys. I don't know about you guys. Let's go caca, flying down into the night. Bink, bink, fabulous. Oh, it's probably the worst bird I've ever seen in my life. Quite literally the worst. But look what we can do if we come out here, right, and we mix it up. Blend them away. These soft little things just to disappear, quite literally, gone from our existence. And then I'm going to make you focus on my mistake. That's what I like to do. I like to make you focus right where I made my mistake. So what if... that's a better looking bird. That's the old bird fam flying in the night. You guys. Very cool, very cool, very cool. Whoa, what is this right here, guys? That's what I thought. I saw something come in. Okay, Deborah got the black mini palette. You are going to love it. You're just going to love it. So thank you, Deborah, for ordering the smaller version of the Paint with Josh palette. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. Now, we got to come up with a title for this painting. Remember, if you grab it right now during the live show, then you get to title it, right? It becomes yours to title forever. And if somebody gets it during the show, then we can have a light party, which we just can't do if we don't do the live show. If we don't sell the painting anyway. Yes, I saw you, Deb. Thank you for your purchase. I love you. You're amazing. This one came out so rad with these different colors. Peaks on the shore. Rock, paper, scissors meets stone, wave, sand. I like that. I like that. What's a light party, says Taylor. So, I have these crazy lights, like studio lights in my ceiling. And when the painting gets purchased during the live show, we flash red, green, and blue light at it like crazy, right? So it will make different things stand out and flash, and just it's really cool. People like to, everybody likes it when the painting sells during the show, because then we get to do the light party, right? And then we get to do the RGB party. The whole crew is here. What are we talking about? All the mods? Are all the mods here today? All of them? Thank you, Cosmic, over there on YouTube. You're awesome. This is what you call art and true imagination. So when he imagined his head and made it into a painting. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate you. It's like that every time. Dandy! Dandy's here. And Cat and Mama Llama and Airy and Cosmic and the other cat. The two cats. Plus I saw Mackie was there. Never seen a light party. I know. It's one of my rules, though. I have to sell the painting if we do the light party. Like, we can't do a light party any other way, which means that I'll just have to wait till I turn the cameras off and do the light party for myself, right? Now, I know that Cosmic wants to get the next one, not this one, but the next one that we're about to paint. So if you have never seen a light party, that's going to be the video to watch, and towards the end, we'll do a light party onto it, right? If not, I do have a couple of TikTok videos. If you scroll back a little bit, it'll say like light party, and you'll get to see what it looks like when we do, in fact, do a light party. But beyond that, yeah, my one rule is I have to sell the painting, otherwise we can't do a light party. We just can't. So, if you want to see a light party, you either have to pray that somebody goes over and buys this painting, or you have to come back and watch the next show where Cosmic would have already gotten it, and then we can do the light party at the end. So the fans always love when we get to do the light party, not only because it supports my business and keeps, oh, that's the other thing, I got a big announcement I got to tell you guys, man. We are expanding into a bigger location, guys. A bigger spot for Paint with Josh and Glitterwix. It's going to be fantastic. We're literally moving out to the unit on the street, like 3 walls of street view. So people will be coming in off of the road and off the sidewalk, just wondering what we're doing in there. And that is just so like, oh, you guys know it's location, 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 right? It's all about the location. So, we're expanding into a bigger studio, which means I need to sell more paintings. And, oh, right in front of Brad Bob. I forgot Brad Bob. Oh, no. I usually forget somebody. So, it's Brad Bob this time. Sorry. Sorry. So, it's happening March 1st, guys. March 1st, we're moving out of this building and into the building that's right out there on the street view. And boy, oh boy, am I excited about it, because we're going to be getting more customers just coming in randomly or organically off of the street and into the building, versus being back here. We're kind of tucked all the way in the back left corner, right? You can't see us. You don't know that we're back here. As soon as we get that front building, oh boy. Ivani and London are going to be printing up a bunch of decals and stickers and signage to go all out in the windows. You will not be able to not see us there. Like, we will be the most visible thing around. It's going to be fabulous. I'm so excited. Literally can't wait. And you guys have helped me keep this place open. You want to know how, this is a sad stat. You want to know how many actual customers have been in the building in the 3 months we've been here? You guys take a guess. Take a guess. How many actual customers have seen our little sign out front? Right, I have like a little sandwich board A-frame sign out front that tells you about, you know, what suite we're in and stuff like that. You just guess. You just take a guess on how many people have legit walked in off the street in 3 months. Take a guess. Right now. Right now, being all the way back here. We got 12, 50, 6. I feel you. User Mr. Cowboy is more on my speed. 30. Okay, good guesses, good guesses, good guesses. 7, good guess. 45, 301, no, that's million. 3,014,582. Negative 90, that sounds more right. You want to know how many customers we've had in 3 months? 3 customers in 3 months. That's because we're all the way back at the very back corner of a place that's very hard to see, and you pass it instantly, right? But as soon as we get out onto that corner unit, you can see it from the intersection, you can see it from the street, you can see it from 7-Eleven. Oh, I'm going to be just swimming in customers. It's going to be amazing. Just quite literally amazing. We're going to have a grand opening. I already got the loan. I had to apply for a loan, and that way we can cover everything, move over there. And so I really need your guys' support. Continual, you know what I mean? You guys, for the last 3 months, have bought enough paintings to allow me to support myself, feed my family, and have my own commercial space, right? Now, the next commercial space we're moving into is a little bit more expensive per month, but we're also going to be seeing more and more customers coming off the street, which is going to be helpful, right? And I feel like we can make up that extra bit just from the location, you know what I mean? That location is everything. It is literally everything. Like if you have a business and people don't know or can't see you when they drive by, they're never going to come in. It's just not going to happen. So I'm super excited. London's super excited. Bonnie's super excited. And unfortunately, that means that we've got to pull everything down, move it all, and set it all back up. But lucky for me, it's 200 feet away. It's not too far to go. And the majority of it we're just going to carry back and forth. So I'll really be counting on you guys as far as support, and continue supporting me like you guys always have, and I'll continue bringing you awesome content and different videos and stuff. And then we'll do we'll have more room for group classes over there. It's much more of a store versus like a garage that I'm in right now. Not to say I don't love my garage, but to have that store, it's just gonna be so like just a relief to have people come in off the street. You know what I mean? It's so hard to have a business if you don't have anybody come in the doors, right? So when we get up there, we'll be able to have more people through the door. We should have more candle purchasers is my hope, right? We'll be able to sell more London's candles. And then I might get a couple more students, and then we'll be all set. And for both, you know, launching out products, then we should be able to afford the spot without any worry. So, big news, big day, March 1st, we move and start our new journey over there. Suite number 1, the very first one, which, like I said, location. That location, London and I both feel like we can do more, we can shift more inventory and do more things just from having people come in off the street, right? Or am I crazy? Am I crazy? Okay, you guys have been amazing. I'm going to come back and we'll do a second show because we're going to be doing cosmic lighthouses painting, and it's going to be cool. It's going to have like a big snowy mountain with teal and purple aurora borealises and then waves in the front. It'll be fantastic. Literally. So, you guys, as always, have been and remain to be amazing to me. Right? I just love you guys, literally. So, everybody over on YouTube, I can't wait to see your version of this painting. Please send it into facebook.com/officialpaintwithjosh or instagram.com/paintwithjoshkane. And until I see you guys again next time, take care. Have the rest of a good day. And bye-bye.